I hadn't noticed that first responder, dummy. Alright, so let's start there. Hi, now that you've finished your tutorial, you can start working on the real thing. Amy's prepared 2 cases for you to solve. Just remember, if you have any problems, you can always redo the tutorial. No, Mark, I won't be redoing the tutorial. So let's go into the accidents, and you can see we now have an arrow for next. Fatal error. Accident case. This is in the province of Tiramo, Italy. In 2012, so this is actually in the past. 1720. The first responder is a person by the name of Felice Diodano. I apologise to all Italians for my absolute horrendous pronunciation there. So without further ado, let's go into this simulation. CPR is very unlikely to restore life functions. Its main purpose is to sustain blood flow until paramedics arrive. Yes. Yes, that is exactly right. What you see in the movies when people do 1 round of CPR and they suddenly start breathing is not real. Oh, the frame rate in the mirror was terrible. Still is terrible. Oh, I can move. Didn't realise that. Going around the corner and... oh, look at all these logs. I wonder if they came off that logging lorry that just went past us. And you can see we've got quite a few cars here. So, we want to put our hazard lights on. Let's pick up the smartphone. And we need to call the emergency services. So, 112 is the correct emergency number for Europe. Thank you, I'm sorry. Before giving me information, make sure the area is safe. So, let's go. So, we have to start placing warning triangles on both sides of the roads and turn off the ignition in all cars. So, I'm hoping we have a warning triangle. There's one. But we only have the one. I'm going to run to this one because you can see we've got 2 that are reducing health. 2 that appear to have no health, so we may have dead ones on this one. Content warning for people who want to move away now. Okay. Now, let's just... can we get into this? No, that's jammed shut. But can we at least stop the ignition off on this one? Yeah. Ignition in cars helps prevent the electrical system from starting a fire. Yeah, that is very true. A log. Move the log away. We are the world's strongest man, apparently, because that log will not be light. You're more likely to clamber over that. So again, let's open this door. Oh, that looks like a broken neck. Turn that car ignition off. Open this door. Turn that ignition off. Then let's open the trunk up. And again, we've got an emergency warning triangle there. Let's run up the road and put one up here. Ooh. There you go. So, got to assess the situation. Try to find precisely where you are. Try your GPS if you have one. Now, it then says check all the victims afterwards. I'm going to do the GPS first because you want the medics rolling right away. Hopefully you've told them the road you're on at least and they can be heading in the right direction. So sat nav, when given your location, try to avoid GPS coordinates as they can be in price. Use road names and distances instead. Another tip that this game doesn't give is a software called What 3 Words. You can download it onto your phone. But be careful with it. It can give similar sounding words, so just make sure you spell them out to them as you're doing it. So let's inspect Ariosto. So the first thing we're looking at here is to gently shake him by the shoulder. Can you hear me? Nothing. We're checking for breathing, so open the airway, lean back, and check his breathing. I don't think he was breathing. We've got a wound there. I'll relay that information to the paramedics. I didn't hear or see any breathing, but it's not alerted me to do CPR yet. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Let's check this woman. I think she's gone, unfortunately. So in this case, again, gently shake the shoulder. Ma'am, can you hear me? Inspect. Broken neck. Wound. Check for breathing. No chance. Now, the angle of the neck tells you it's likely broken. Sorry, but there's nothing we can do for this one. I suspected. What about her? What have we got? So again, gently shake the shoulder. And then... do not move things from unless you absolutely need to. Move the head back to clear the airway, leave them inside. Look at here. Unbuckle the seat. I see. Open the airway so we're leaning the back. Check for breathing. She is breathing. Thank you. I will relay that information to the paramedics. There's a fourth one, so not in that passenger door. Not in there. Oh, hello. Yeah. No, you can see he's crushed. No chance, I'm afraid. Sir, can you hear me? Broken neck. I'm not sure I'd call that one a broken neck, sure, but that... I'd say he's definitely crushed. So we need to help the man in the SUV. Close his door just to get him out of the way. Let's grab your first aid kit. First aid kit's been in the cars is... I like to have one in mine. I believe it's a requirement in a lot of European countries. If he's hanging on the branch, cut it down, address the wound around it, but don't pull it out of the wound. Correct. So something sharp needed. Now, this is going to irritate me. I've got to find something sharp now. Do we have something sharp in the first aid kit? I can't open the first aid kit, so no. What about in our boot? We actually have a utility knife. There you go. That's useful. Not something you'd choose to carry around with you, I would say. So, off the branch. Yeah. So, in the UK, there's no requirement to carry any of these things in your boot, but in Europe, there's a lot of requirement for these sort of things. Let's open this up. We want to put on the gloves. Remove the clothes near the wound, so we need the scissors. Put off the shirt. Dress the wound. Dress him bad. And hold it on there. Now, it's a protruding wound, so there's a high pressure around the wound, so we're going to hold it there. And here comes the ambulance. Right, so the victims are now out. And you can see they've actually cleared the victims this time. So we've got to gather the clues and then put the evidence in the right order. The ambulance is still there, surprisingly. But they have removed all the alive and dead victims. So I'm going to start from this side over here. You can see we've got these tyre marks here. Aristo turns away from the accident but loses control and hits a tree. Let's keep going this way for now. We got a pamphlet. Hello. Unsecured logs fall off a logging trailer. Would that be what we saw going past before? One of the logs smashes into the car behind, so this has literally come straight off. Oh, what's that? I'm just going to go look at this here before I go any further. I don't think it's... yeah, it's irrelevant, that's what I thought. And then here, a loose branch gets stuck in the compact car wheel, making it impossible to turn. So, we've got 4 out of 4 clues. We've got to put them in the correct order. So, the first thing I would say is the unsecured logs have fallen off. One of the logs smashes into the car behind. These two could be in either order, but I'm going to go with the loose branch first. And Aristo turning away. Success. Aristo, luckily for Aristo, the branch that pierced his chest missed his lungs. This and your immediate help ensured that despite a minor infection, his wounds healed in a reasonably short time. In a matter of weeks, Aristo returned to work, and the accident became just a minor episode in his life. Ippolito, the log that fell on the car, killed Ippolito on the spot. He was buried a week later in his hometown. After finding out that the truck driver escaped from the scene of the accident, Ippolito's family sued him and the company he worked for. After a prolonged legal battle, they won enough money to pay for his orphan child's college. Wow. Heart-wrenching. Just like her husband, Rufina died the moment the log fell on their car. They were buried together by the family. Her son, Renzo, 9 years old at the time, was raised by his godfather, and his family, and later in life became a paramedic. Octavia, despite suffering only minor injuries, Octavia suffered greatly from the accident. The moment she regained consciousness, she blamed herself for not avoiding the car in front, and the image of the accident was stuck in her memory for a long time, causing panic attacks and other PTSD-like symptoms. Despite extensive therapy, she was never confident enough to drive again. It's interesting the amount of detail they're going into with this game. Because what they've said there at the end about each individual person is it's not really as necessary as it seems. Now, as far as I know, all the scenarios in this game are made up. But they're not too far away from what could really happen. So, we'll end this scenario here and move on to another one, I think. We're going to get Ooh. Wow. So just before I close the book on this one, I want to quickly mention on what was shown on that video. There was certainly some fault on at least some of the drivers there, if you were looking at this objectively. The car that got crushed, I think you'd probably struggle to appoint any blame to them. They could have been a little bit further back, but that doesn't necessarily mean they'd have stopped in time in this particular scenario. The white car, it looked like they came up the slip road a bit quick and joined a bit quick, especially as they were crossing an oncoming lane. I would have kept a bit more space personally, but that's just my opinion. The red car, something I was always taught is you drive to the distance you can see to be safe to brake in. So when they came around that corner, they weren't driving to that sort of distance. They couldn't see far enough ahead to brake in the time they could brake in. So they were, unfortunately, the architect of their own misfortune in how they crashed. Having said that, unsecured loads are no joke. You need, if you're driving goods vehicles, you really do have a duty of care on all drivers around you. But we'll close that book now and move on to the next one.